Hello and welcome everybody to the Join Dota League season number 4, where the season is actually slowly but surely coming to an end. This is going to be the first game for the playoffs for the Asian division. It is the quarterfinal, but it's not as usually quarterfinals would be. It's just a quarterfinal, a semi-final, and the final. So 3 best of 3s coming out. This is the first one, of course. Arcanys Gaming versus First Departure in this particular one. We are HeflaTV. I am Coucher and I am joined by Mike Loris. Man, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Looking forward to this one and looking forward to the other ones as well. As no, First Departure are generally considered the fan favorites, I think, in most of these Southeast Asian games, mostly because Miracle is such a flashy player. But man, they have to get through Arcanus. Then if they win, they have to get through Invasion. Then if they want to actually win, they have to get through G Guard. So of course, Arcanus have to do the exact same thing. It's going to be a tough climb for both these two teams, but hey, they're in the finals, and that's a lot more than the other teams can say.
Yeah, it's definitely so. And first departure, they also had to play a tiebreaker to actually get into the playoffs. They were tied before this with Kansai Whips, CSW. They did win that best of one, so here they are. Arcanys, of course, they're a pretty damn strong team from the Philippines, but first departure, I think, probably should be the fan favorites coming into this. I mean, everybody knows Miracle. Almost every single game I see of first departure, it's kind of Miracle versus the world, unfortunately so. Every now and then, the supports just play rather well as well, but it feels like maybe the other just players are more like hero specific. They don't maybe have as just huge of a variety in the pool.
Yeah, and that's just something that tends to happen with some teams. You have someone who's standing out, makes the flashy plays, feels like they're lifting the entire team, but uh, of course, it is sometimes going to be the case that that happens. Sometimes it is not, and we're going to see some respect for Miracle in that Naga Siren first ban from Arcanus, Elder Titan, Tide, and Bat all taken out of the pool. Whereas first part should pick up the Brewmaster first. Arcanus, instead of responding with the Skywrath, pick up the Venge. I think that's fine for now, as you can never really go wrong with the Vengeful Spirit.
Well, second pick was the Lycan as first departure while going for a huge team fight. Promise Split and the Black Hole both. Of course, first departure, they pretty much, well, I was talking about their players maybe in hero specific lobby, definitely just thrives on the Enigma, so they pick it up rather early for them as well. Is it a little bit too early though, especially if it's into a Vengeful Spirit who can just stop the Black Hole anyway, or, I mean, the hero is pretty strong even without the Black Hole to be honest, but is it just showing that hero a little bit too early?
I think it is, not because of the ability of giving Arcanus counters to the Black Hole, but just because this clearly shows that first departure, or it should show that first departure are going to be running this Enigma in the jungle, and that's very punishable by Arcanus if they pick up the right support heroes. I don't know if they were going to pick up the right support heroes if it wasn't the Enigma pick, but now they're going to be a little bit more inclined to abuse the fact that first departure will only have one support hero actively in lane, and one support hero is going to be just randomly in the jungle. So in that regard, I don't really like the Enigma this early. It's a powerful hero, but yeah, I don't know. He needs to have a good early start, and it's very possible now for Arcanus to shut down the Enigma.
Well, we'll see if they want to go for that route. They can pick up something like Lich if they want to, for example, just make absolutely damn sure that there's not going to be a proper black hole. Just go for some kind of dual lanes as well to punish the fact that Enigma is in the jungle, something like that. But so far, picking up a Queen of Pain instead. It's a hero we don't see all that often, and although she brings great burst damage with her, also just once you blink in, you have to make sure you don't get stunned or you're just going to die immediately because you don't have that great of a health pool just after you blink in.
Yeah, she is very, very fragile. Fortunately, first departure, not really with too many crowd control effects right now. You don't really want to just instantly respond to a black hole versus a Queen of Pain unless she's really getting out of control, in which case, yeah, you do whatever it takes, but they're going to have to heavily prioritize their crowd control. Arcanus, kind of the same way, our Queen of Pain, though she may be able to put out a whole lot of damage, is not really the hero that you want on your team versus a Brewmaster versus an Enigma. Yeah, she probably won't die to those two heroes, but she also won't kill them or slow down their ultimates either. So Arcanus, they're looking to play this game pretty aggressively, and this is actually looking like a really, really old draft, like from several years ago, like 5, 6 years ago, old draft.
Oh, it definitely, it just looks like it, so not too sure if it's going to work out for them. In Arcanis, they've never ran like the most standard of drafts, I guess, but first departure going for a Crystal Maiden as well. Usually a hero that would also kind of like to utilize the jungle a little bit. So, is there a chance that it's just going to be an Enigma offlane for them this time around?
If that is the case, then it is really like a 5, 6 year old draft. That used to be run all the time, but CM, as far as her ability to poke in the lane, is okay, but generally she needs a partner to really hit everything home. I still want to say that Enigma is going to be going towards the jungle, but I'm not entirely sure at this point. Normally, you don't see Enigma this early, but you definitely don't see a Crystal Maiden this early, if at all.
Well, I mean, first Porter, they used to run like a Crystal Maiden, Undying, plus like one aggressive tri-lanes. I think Juggernaut might have been the last one for those kind of tri-lanes for them. That was, I think, 2, 3 months ago, something like that. Or just straight after, I think it was the TI4. So they've run similar lineups before, I guess, as well, but I really have no idea what to expect with this. I guess the Arcane Aura will definitely help the Enigma just farm up a little bit easier. Doesn't need to just rush the Soul Ring as fast or something. Also, Brewmaster can Thunderclap a little bit more reliably, but just Crystal Maiden against the Lycan and the Queen of Pain, she's just gonna get eaten or blown up.
Yeah, and that's really unavoidable when you pick up a Crystal Maiden versus those types of heroes. Omni Knight now the pick from Arcanys. Once again, not a crowd controlling hero, but they'll have defensive spells up the wazoo in order to deal with First Departure. I would expect First Departure to go for something really mana heavy. Storm Spirit is the first hero that comes to mind that'll give them the ability to start team fights, but this Arcanus gaming draft is actually looking pretty sweet. Like, Omni Knight is a hero that we should definitely be seeing a little bit more. Together with Lycan and Queen of Pain, well, first of all, almost completely mitigates the weaknesses of Queen of Pain. If you jump in with Repel on yourself, you're going to be hit with a black hole maybe, but everything else you're fine from. So I think this is a pretty good pickup from Arcanus, and they're also not really short on lane presence either, so I think it'll work out.
And Omni Knight definitely is a hero that has seen a little bit more play as well recently. Just because of the same reason that Repel is just such a strong ability. Also Guardian Angel to just make you completely immune to death pretty much. Unless there's a Diffusal Blade on the enemy side. But First Departure, can they even just go for heroes? I guess something like a Mirana might be it to build a Diffusal Blade, but they already have 3 of their heroes. None of them really want to build a Diffusal Blade, so this Omni Knight might just pay off big time for them. Also, Invisible Wolves can just run in behind you to just start the gank, you purify them up. Queen of Pain blinks next to somebody, Lycan keeps up with somebody's pace rather easy as well to just get the purification bomb going. So not a bad pick at all.
Well, it's not going to be that Storm Spirit. It's going to be Timbersaw, another hero that is really desperate for any sort of scrap of mana that he could find, and CM Timbersaw is actually a pretty legit combination. Not really sure if this is worth going for. As nice as the combination is, it does have its weaknesses, and that mostly they're not going to play together, and CM is just a very fragile hero in general. It is, I think, overall a good pick, however, up against what Arcanus have, because once again, they're really low on crowd control. They only have a Magic Missile, and that's just not good enough when you're trying to deal with Whirling Death. Maybe you're going to be able to chase him down a little bit with the Lycan, or blink after the Timbersaw as the Queen of Pain, but actually killing him down and killing him off convincingly is going to be really difficult for Arcanus, as they need one more hero with crowd control effects, most likely for the offlane. Clockwork maybe for initiation, but other than that, I don't know. What did they go for? Batrider is out, so that's not an option.
Well, Arcanist they can try to go for something like maybe a Sky of Mage. It's still available, they can run an Omni Knight offlane. But they pick up a Mirana instead. I mean, it's going to be extremely hard for her to land the arrows. And is this just an offlane Mirana? Do they run kind of an aggressive tri-lane with Omni Knight, Vengeful Mirana? Like, what's the laning for them even?
Man, I've no idea. Offlane Mirana used to be a thing, and I suppose it can still be a thing. It is going to actually benefit First Departure quite heavily if they do that, just because offlane Mirana can't really punish the likes of CM. Even if they get into a fist fight, normally CM is going to lose 100% of those. This time she's not going to lose as hard, so it is a stun at the very least for Arcanus, and they don't know who their lane opposition is going to be just yet, so I think this is a reasonable pickup. It's definitely not the best hero. If you're going to be going for one of these elusive range heroes in the off lane, I would have rather liked to see something like a Wind Ranger, but yeah, I think it could be just fine.
Well, First Departure, last pick about to come. A heavy hitter would be fine for them. Maybe something like a Phantom Assassin, although I guess against magic damage Queen of Pain you can still die, although as a Phantom Assassin going for BKB early would be fine, but no, picking up a Ricky, so I guess that's their Diffusal carrier.
Yeah, that's a fantastic hero to pick up Diffusal. It's pretty much part of the build, if not the core item to get as Ricky. So Omni Knight, eat your heart out. You're going to only have a little bit of time before Ricky starts going nuts all over you. That being said, Ricky versus what Arcanists have right now, It's fine, I suppose. Queen of Pain has enough AoE to smash Ricky, even if they may not have True Sight. Aside from that, Vengeful Spirit's done into Lycan damage. It's going to be a lot of damage, but I don't quite know if it's going to be enough to kill off a Ricky before he gets some backup. So, yeah, I think this game is actually a pretty good one for Ricky, and I don't think I've seen a game where Ricky is actually a good pick.
I kind of struggle to find in my memory a game where Ricky has been an extremely successful one. At least not ever since the changes to the Ricky. Before that, yes, some IO Ricky games just completely wrecking ball just going out, but I don't know. First departure, they're definitely a team as well that just doesn't really run the most conventional lineup, so they might have practiced the lineup as such, but we'll see. Just to introduce the lineups though, for the side of first departure on the Radiant one, Hana playing the Ricky, leaving Aluka, Kai on the Crystal Maiden, with Miracle on a Timber, so might be heading towards the mid lane, leaving Lobby on his Enigma, and the last one will be Polosan on the Brewmaster.
And for Arcanys, Bach is going to be playing the Omni Knight, looking to go towards the offlane solo. Heinrich is going to be on the Queen of Pain. We got Boombacks playing the support Mirana. We probably should have seen this coming. Fried Butterflies is going to be playing the Vengeful Spirit, and Mighty Savior is on the Lycan. It's going to be a support Mirana with a support Venge, and putting the Omni Knight to the offlane, certainly a lot better times for the Crystal Maiden, as she's going to be actively poking at that Omni Knight the entire time. But boots first, and CM with no boots. The movement speed differential here is massive. And it's not out of the question just to see Aluka getting run down by this Omni Knight very early on. So she has to play this lane very, very cautiously. Even though Hana is going to help out, Ricky at level 1 is actually a pretty terrible hero. He's going to start laying into Bach, but this Omni Knight, he's just way too tanky, way too fast for this lane to convincingly deal with.
And just look at the damage of a Crystal Maiden, 38. It will barely just tickle the Omni Knight. I guess Omni Knight didn't start with his Tau Shield, so it's going to be a little bit better, but still 5 base armor, not too shabby at all. 38 damage, 280 movement speed. That is one of the reasons probably that why Crystal Maiden is not picked up, just because roaming, pretty bad. Don't really have too much damage output. At least you can jungle, so that makes up for it. And you have double nukes. I mean, for support, it's pretty great to have that. Freezing Field, also an excellent ability if you can manage to just take it out. But man, it's just Crystal Maiden. I feel like she should get buffed the movement speed. I felt like that for years now.
Yeah, give her like 15 more movement speed, or give her like 10, 12 more damage. That is not going to break the hero. Ice Frog, please. Show some love. I guess she already had her time in the spotlight. She used to be the supreme support hero, but those days were very long ago. So yeah, CM definitely needs to get some love, and we could probably see the weakness of her right now. Bach is a melee hero on the off lane. He should not be sitting here CSing versus a dual lane. That's just so many layers of wrong.
It's just, he's actually having a comfortable time, which definitely, like I said, shouldn't really happen for them. Looking at the other offlaner, Polosan, I guess not having too bad of a time either on the Brewmaster. He's level 2.5, gonna hit level 3 soon enough now probably. Fried Butterflies on the Vengeful, can't really do too much either, and Lycan, not the best hero to help out with the harass I guess, although Magic Missile into Howl damage, gonna do a lot, but I kind of fail to see how they're actually gonna kill off the Brewmaster, unless the Brewmaster really misplays it.
Yeah, I don't see that happening either, but they might kill off Boombacks. They're gonna land the Frostbite. Actually, no one's really too close, so Timbersaw in the mid lane. The real problem with this hero in that mid lane is that normally you go for Willing Death, which is fine, it's perfectly reasonable, but it means your mobility is going to be a little bit stymied because you're going for crowd control. Polosan's actually going to go strong into Fried Butterflies up towards top. Level 1 boots, and Fried Butterflies does not have boots. If that was Crystal Maiden, then it would be first blood for Polosan, but Vengeful Spirit's not a trash hero, turns out.
Well, Vengeful is one of the best heroes probably, when just the minus armor actually allows you to output a lot of damage, especially together with the Howl coming out. But even then, just so hard to really harass Brewmaster with Stout Shield. 1 point into the Drunken Brawler already.
They're going to try to go for Miracle. It's just Heinrich by himself. Stat reduction, not quite going to do it. Miracle praying for his reactive armor, but it's not going to be enough. Another Scream of Pain is going to get first blood. Heinrich is going to draw it on Miracle. Pretty much, actually 100% doing it solo.
Yeah, even if the last Scream of Pain had not landed, the arrow would have done the trick anyway, I believe. So, they had that backup plan as well, but really nice first blood as Omni Knight. Gonna take a fall, one more right click, Hana picks it up. I guess Aluka getting that level 2, having both the Frostbite as well as the Crystal Nova was enough. Of course, nice smoke screen as well from Ricky. So 1-for-1 all in all, but this first blood in the mid lane, Queen of Pain gonna get a lot of momentum from that, and well, he's gonna die in return. Never mind that. Screw the momentum. Miracle gets the counter kill.
Miracle doesn't care for your momentum. He's just gonna get kills anyway. The burst power of Timbersaw is huge, and Queen of Pain, I guess, used her blink to try to get into the trees, but that's exactly where Timbersaw wants to play. So it worked out for First Departure in the end. I would also just like to quickly note the CM, yes, she does have the double nukes, but in this dual lane, they're working with one of the most ridiculously broken skills in all of Dota, Smokescreen. I sincerely think this is like the best skill in Dota, if like, you know, one of the best non-ultimate skills. So versus an Omni Knight, that is just absolutely crippling, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Omni Knight die a couple more times to this combo. The only problem is that CM, though she usually has mana, right now she doesn't, as Arcane Aura is not leveled up, and they're also going to tag Miracle with an arrow over towards mid, stunned for a million years. He's going to get his reactive armor up pretty quickly, Timber chaining outwards, one more Scream of Pain, a couple more right clicks, Heinrich is going to dive deep for it, will miss the Scream of Pain actually, not quite in range, and Timbersaw is going to dig his way all the way through, and he's going to survive.
Well, a small fail as well. Fright Butterflies once again got thunderclapped, right clicked a few times as well, but that was miscalculation. I'm not too sure if they didn't expect him to get that deep or something. I really thought Queen of Pain is actually going to run all the way and chase him down, just because it was a rather safe place to chase, just because he would have been out of tower range in no time, and Blink would have come off cooldown eventually as well. I don't think there was like a huge threat in actually going for the proper chase there, but Miracle makes it out, back to the mid lane he comes with a bottle. So still doing fine for himself. Last hit wise 15 and 0 compared to 23 and 9, but First Departure, they have a completely uncontested Enigma in the jungle pretty much.
And that's going to be pretty troubling for Arcanys. They saw the Enigma coming from a mile away. They could have prepared for him, but instead they're just trying to secure Mighty Savior farm, which is worthwhile for sure, but they could be doing a little bit more, I think, and they're going to maybe lose someone in the bottom lane. Bach is going to get frozen within the smoke screen, can't escape for any spell casting. Omnight's going to be dropped one more time. Smokescreen, man, is so freaking good, and the Riki, now hitting level 6, can do that not completely solo, but very close to it. Maybe not up against Omnight, but up against anyone else is pretty much going to fall at the mercy of Hana. So with Power Treads, Orb of Venom, I expect there to be a Diffusal Blade in his future. Don't know if he's going to be going for it first, but joining up with the Enigma now, and they're going to put a lot of pressure onto this tower. Omniknight might be able to draw aggro, but that's about all you could do.
Yeah, really well done, just Riki. He was dropping down to half HP, so other than the death, Omniknight was having a really good time on the lane. Just wherever Riki showed himself, he just purified him up. With the Soul Ring, you can pretty much do it endlessly. But now, like you said, with Riki being level 6, they don't even need a Crystal Nova really, just a Frostbite will probably be enough to set up the kill with the smoke screen to follow. Brewmaster also at the same time having a pretty good time, level 6 already on the offlane, 6 minutes in, definitely great for him. Timbersaw mid lane, well, still a little bit behind of Queen of Pain in the last hits, but doing still fairly well for himself considering the matchup and considering that Arcanys have pretty much been harassing him with the Mirana as well. Which, guess they want to go again. Arrow will be flying. It's not gonna land though.
That's pretty close, but close doesn't quite cut it. Miracle's going to not get that much space in the mid lane, but he's doing okay regardless. They're going to try to go for Bach maybe one more time. No, Luca, I think, was spotted out by something, but this top lane situation is actually really bad for Mighty Savior. He got so much protection, but now, because first of all, he doesn't have any more protection, and also because Palasan can straight up kill the Lycan at this stage, he has to play this very safely. He's going to be able to last hit maybe with the Wolves, but the odds of that working out for him is going to be very slim. So these supports need to get themselves back into the lane. Otherwise, top lane is going to be won decisively by the Brewmaster. And I think at this point, you could even make the argument saying that Brewmaster has already won this top lane. He's level 7, 7 minutes in, and that's pretty much exactly where any offlane hero would like to be right now.
Yeah, it's definitely going really well for him. If you just look at the levels and just maybe last hits as well, even Omni Knight is doing fairly well, but giving away 2 kills to Riki, a heavily momentum-based hero as well, especially now the tier 1 tower going down with the help of Lobby. First Departure, I mean, they are winning pretty much 2 of their 3 lanes. Mid lane, Timbersaw, yes, he's behind in last hits, but I still think it's going well enough for him. Arcane Boots flying out now as well. So he has his own levels, which is really all a Timbersaw needs early on. Once you get to level 6 with the Chakram, and now bottom lane, they're going to go for Bok as well. Does he have his Soul Ring? No, it's on cooldown for another 2 second smoke screen. Crystal Nova to follow, but never mind, Hana. Gonna just leave one Blink Strike to get away walk out. Okay, the Crystal Maiden, not fun times, just Sonic Wave to get her down.
Fortunately for Hana, he has no detection to worry about on the other end, and now Bach's going to rejoin this fight. He's going to get smoke screen immediately, but Hana a little bit too far away to actually use anything afterwards. Heinrich also still in the area. The couple of times I've seen Ricky, the build has been max out the permanent invisibility. Don't really know if I like that, but this 8-second fade time is pretty darn huge, and you would also like to have that extra health regen, so not sure if that's going to be part of his build, but anyway, he's gone for the full damage build up against Omni Knight. Pretty necessary, and I think most of the time it'll show its value, but going into a tier 2 like that, seeing someone teleport in, I think they make the right call, but unfortunately CM is still just paper, and she will always be paper.
Yeah, and even Ricky, I think he was barely out of the Sonic Wave. Had that landed with the Shadow Strike, he would have been extremely close to death as well. Heinrich might have even decided to just keep on chasing them down. And like you said, just the 8-second fade time on the invis is a pretty damn long one, and might be just a matter of between life and death really. But they are smoking up now. They have their blink dagger on Polos on 9 minutes in for an offlaner Brewmaster who's level 8. That's just crazy, and with that, Boombacks, well, he's just going to die straight away to blink thunderclap. That's it. Like one more right click maybe, and he's down.
Blink, clap, crit. Oh, so close, and now Lovey's going to steal the kill.
All the healing salve cut him up a little bit higher, but
Yeah.
well, that's gonna be probably a tier 1 as well. Or do you think Arcanys are gonna actually come and defend this?
They have a Queen of Pain. If they had a Sonic Wave, I think they would be a little more inclined, but they know that they're up against Split, and Split is a little bit too much for them. They're going to try to split push bottom and top, but those heroes that are split pushing can't really split push. They need the Lycan in those lanes, and he's in base, so this tower is probably going to be going down. Lubby kind of running low on Eidolons, and he'll have enough of those soon enough. Omni Knight's going to be rejoining this lane. Arrow's going to fly, annihilate a range creep, but actually they will hold the tower, and it's not in deny range unfortunately, but they're going to find Heinrich. Luca's trying to bait this Queen of Pain up to the high ground so that Polosan can help out, but looks like Queen of Pain not going to bite, and well, it's going to be tower surviving for right now, but I don't think that's going to be the case for much longer.
And actually, Boombacks looks like he's got a pretty healthy amount of last hits on the support Mirana as well, sitting on 20 at the moment. I guess ever since Queen of Pain left the mid lane, Mirana just took over there. But she's on the hunt for something. Gonna let an arrow loose, which probably will not hit. Oh, Nero Miracle hit Timber Chains into the arrow. Oh my freaking god. That was just extremely unlucky. I don't know, man. What are the odds?
Well, Lubby's here, had an opportunity for a 2-man black hole, decided not to take it. Here comes Hannah, and Bach is going to run straight into a whole bunch of Eidolons. However, Moonlight Shadow is pretty good, and now they're going to turn around. Arrow onto Hannah, instantly bursts down to almost dead. He is going to pop Smoke Green, gets mech'd up as well. Lubby's still looking for that black hole, is going to find it now. Only into Boombacks, though. That's kind of disappointing. They will probably kill off this Mirana anyway. She has a leap out, but it's not going to help her. In the meantime, Ricky's going to get annihilated by a Purify, and Polosan also dropping very low, has no more mana for a split right now, and they're all caught between a very difficult position right now. Luca is now going to break out of it, and with Polosan, maybe you're going to try to cut off Bach and Fried Butterflies with the Whirling Death combo. Not going to kill off Bach because he does have Repel, but will force the Purification out so that Fried Butterflies is pretty much forfeit at this point. The Venge will go down. At the same time, the left side of the fight, they're going to try to chase down Lubby. A pretty tanky hero, has a lot of regeneration. In the meantime, Bach fighting up against Mirror, but the Purification is doing so much work for this Omni Knight, keeping him alive and almost destroying the Timbersaw outright. They will catch Enigma with an arrow, and they will bring him down. Arcanys, this Omni Knight is just an all-star right now.
Yeah, and thank god he finished the Arcane Boots pretty much just before this fight started. Without that, no way he would have had enough sustain with mana just to keep things going, even with a Soul Ring on him. And like I said, he's just like an all-star for them. The Purifications, the Repels, everything, even the Guardian Angel clutch saving himself. At one point, well, Narrow Miracle gonna get arrowed again. Do they have enough though? No points into Starstorm, so he might be able to escape Timber Chain to the high ground. He's fine for now. But this is not how it should have gone for first departure. Lycan also took down a tier 1 in the meantime. So they're just all finding farm at this point.
And Miracle still messing with Boombacks. He's going to turn around for Timber Chain. Gets arrowed. One more right click. Boombacks is going to get the kill. Going to get slowed down by Lovey a little bit. But Haystern on the Mirana, actually going to time out at pretty much the worst time. Will leap down to the low ground and should be fine. Hana trying to get in range for a Blink Strike, but Boombacks is going to make it to safety. Timbersaw should not be dying like that to a Mirana, but landing 2 consecutive arrows will do that for you, and Mirana also gets to live. As you said, this game is how it's progressing is not how it's supposed to go for first departure. They just have to deal with this Omni Knight first. If they don't, then Bach is just going to be running a train all over them, And the scary thing is that Mighty Savior hasn't even been in these fights. It's just been 4 heroes for Arcanys, so they've been winning convincingly 4v5.
Well, Hana is scouting out Lycan at the moment, but he's not going to go into Roche, so nothing sneaky to be done there really. Mighty Savior shouldn't lose too much HP farming up a single stack of Ancients. But there's a smoke from Arcanys, a TP gonna come in as well, it's gonna be the Mirana. They don't know Hana is there though. Repel and Moonlight Shadow, Hana just scouts out everything, so First Watcher should be aware of this and backing up or maybe baiting into this. I mean, they have a Primal Split ready. No Black Hole for another 48 seconds unfortunately, but... Well, Hana, he's just waiting out the Moonlight Shadow and another smoke broken immediately because Hana was like literally next to Mirana.
Look at that, Ricky. Burning 200 gold from the Arcanys side, literally doing nothing in the meantime. However, so there's a sentry now, and Hana might be a little bit trouble because he's going to get arrowed as well. You can only do that for so long, quite honestly, and he's going to get purified to death. Here comes Peloson with the Blink Clap split. He can only go for Fried Butterflies, but with the Guardian Angel up, he's not even going to be able to do that. He's going to throw the Lycan up into the air, but they have no lockdown for him. That's the weakness of their draft. Aluka is nowhere near this Lycan, needs the Frostbite. In the meantime, Lubby getting a little bit too close to the Wolf. And he's going to take an arrow. Lubby is going to get the mech out beforehand, but it's not going to matter. He will take a fall. Now onto Aluka. The Wolves are going to be able to do this just by themselves. Medallion, maybe not going to be enough. Meantime, Peloson out of his split form. He's going to get Sonic Wave to the face, and he will be brought down. It's another 2 kills for Arcanys. And First Departure, they just can't assemble heroes in the right place at the right time. They don't have enough lockdown. The smoke screen needs to be a lot better. And, well, when you lose Hana to begin things, you're not going to have a smoke screen. So... that's pretty much irrelevant. First Departure, they're just losing every single fight right now, and once again, I think it's pretty much because of Box Omni Knight.
It probably is indeed, just the Guardian Angel keeping alive, even the supports. Sometimes you would think that it's not really worth it to just commit such ultimates for saving supports, but definitely paid off in the end for them. Got just a little bit more value out of Fried Butterflies, like 1 extra wave of terror at least, another magic missile as well. Heinrich has his Orchid finished 15 minutes in, great timing for him with Power Threat, Magic Wand and a bottle on top of it. So it's looking extremely good. Mid lane they're pushing in as well, which isn't all that fast. Purification gets some more farm and he's gonna have an Aghanim Scepter in only 700 gold.
Man, that global power of the Guardian Angel is gonna be freaking ridiculous. Then heroes like the Lycan and Queen of Pain can go around and convincingly get solo kills without having to worry about their well-being. Already Lycan can do that because he has an Aegis, but with Queen of Pain being able to do that as well, you're gonna be fearing for your life as First Departure. Like Queen of Pain, if she has a Sonic Wave, can 100 to 0 pretty much anyone on your team. Maybe Peloson's going to survive, maybe the Timbersaw is going to survive, but if they do, it's going to be very slight, and that's only if Queen of Pain is there by herself. So right now, for First Departure, I don't even know what they have to do. They have these big ultimates, like the Black Hole and the Primal Split, so even though they may be a little bit behind, they could definitely come back. They just have to make sure that they actually land all their crowd control spells, and so far that's not the case. Miracle is going to get jumped by the Queen of Pain immediately. The arrow's going to fly, and my god, this Mirana has also been 100% on point. Don't think we've really given her enough credit, but Boombax has hit pretty much every single arrow when it counts.
It's sickening. I mean, what's the setup for the arrows for them? It's the Magic Missile, but so far he hasn't really used the setup, just randomly throwing out arrows, and like I said, they are landing pretty much every single time it matters for them. Now Shadow Strike onto Hana, he's gonna get silenced up as well, but since Hana actually turned around and went aggressive rather than backing off, the arrow did miss. The mech is there as well, Heinrich, he blinks into the Frostbite and the smoke screen, but with the haste might still be fine, never mind. Goes down in the end, Ricky ends the mega kill streak, that's a huge kill. Suddenly Hana a lot closer, oh, almost touches Boombax's Starstorm as well, but not quite. Still, that's just suddenly a lot closer to the Diffusal Blade than he was just a second before.
And also Miracle misses the Timber Chain, trying to chase down Boombax, so the Mirana once again will get out of here alive. People in chat were, you know, making fun because I said smokescreen best skill, but look at that. That wouldn't have been done by Metamorphosis, so eat your words. Miracle's going to get chased down by Mighty Savior. Just 4 hits is going to almost 100% Miracle, but it will survive because of help from Peloson. Will proc the Aegis of the Lycan. He does not have any more shapeshift, so he cannot chase any longer. However, Boombax is looking for blood right now. Only has a level 1 Starstorm, so I don't really know what the plan is right now. Get into a man fight with Aluka. He can do that to start things out. Arrow's going to connect as well, and Aluka suddenly is all alone. Actually, Hana's here, but it's a little bit too late. Miracle also a little bit too late. Everything is too late. Actually, his Guardian Angel is spent to do pretty much nothing. They're going to turn around and try to go for Hana, but Lubby's closing in on Fried Butterflies. However, the Enigma is in a terrible position right now because here comes the Lycan. Minus armor onto Lubby, all the way down to -2 right now, and looks like everyone will be walking away from this alive, but Arcanys is so comfortable with it right now. They're going to jump in onto Bach, and now in the smokescreen, Omni Knight cannot save himself. Even with that Aghanim Scepter, he can't do anything. That's the power of smoke screen. They just need to make sure that they get that a couple more times down, and First Departure can bring themselves back into this game, but it hasn't been landing convincingly enough.
Well, First Departure is definitely getting a pretty nice series of events going for themselves finally. But it's not even a straight off Diffusal Blade for Hana. It's a Yasha first for him, and do you think it's the smart choice? I mean, I guess the movement speed will be nice and everything, but wouldn't the Diffusal have been better?
I generally think that Diffusal is better on Ricky because he does get so much from the extra agility, so you want every single scrap you can get. Up towards top, Heinrich is going to be jumping on toward Peloson. Orchid Amplification not quite going to kill the Brewmaster, but they will take the kill in the end. Boombacks also should be able to leap out of there, so it's a clean up additional kill for Arcanys. But yeah, for Ricky, they really need the Diffusal Blade. Actually, maybe they don't need the Diffusal Blade right now, since it's not really the Repel that's killing them off, it's the Purification. So delaying the Diffusal Blade is fine, but Diffusal is just so ridiculous on Ricky. I don't know why you would ever want to skip it.
Yeah, especially up against the Omninet, I don't know, but we'll see if it's gonna work out or not. At least he can farm a little bit faster as well. I mean, agility is never gonna be bad, doesn't matter what item it comes from if you're a Ricky. But Arcanys now, they're grouping up once again. Last push they didn't go as well. Also Mighty Savior, his shapeshift ended like just before he got the last right click into Timbersaw, which would have been the death of him. But Miracle, he got off to a pretty decent start in the mid lane, but still no ultimate for him. Hana, he got randomly arrowed. There's the sentry down, finally a little bit late. Purification even lands. But Magic Missile was just like half a second too late. And Hana, he actually blinks in aggressively. Boombacks does get out of the smoke screen immediately. And they're just going to continue with the push. Mighty Savior with his ultimate and the repel. Black Hole, is it going to come out? Lobby was thinking about it, I think, but in the end they just back off.
Crystal Maiden died, I think, in like 2 hits from Mighty Savior. Last I checked, it was at full HP, but then got a little bit too close to the Lycan, and suddenly she dropped, and that's just what Crystal Maiden is going to be doing for the rest of her game. Like, if you look at her inventory, that's pretty much going to be it. Full of consumables and a magic wand, or a magic stick. That's just a sad, sad life for CM. She only has 3 deaths, which is actually a lot less than I thought she would have right now, but still, she's not going to be doing anything anytime soon. This is the time where First Departure should be pretty much running the game with the Brewmaster and the Timbersaw, but the Timbersaw's burst, I don't think we've actually seen it a single time, at least not being substantial enough. They're going to try to go for mid lane. Boombacks is going to leap out of their box, going to get hit with the smoke screen, but he's just going to walk out of there. Maybe if they had Diffusal, that wouldn't have happened.
Probably not, but he's still rather close to it. I mean, has the one Blade of Alacrity and the Robe of the Magi in his inventory at least. But Boombacks, he's going for the Hand of Midas on the Mirana, so as a support, even wants to be just relevant in the late game as well. And with the Mirana backing up the late game, it's looking rather good for Arcanys if they have the lead already. I mean, it's a pretty huge lead as well, to be honest, about 8,000 net worth. XP 10k for them. Hand of Midas finished on the Mirana. What do you think the Queen of Pain will go for next though?
She could go for a sheepstick, and she's holding enough money that would indicate that she wants to go for that type of item. Honestly, she could go for anything right now because they're just getting everything, including an arrow onto Peloson over towards mid. Boombacks, though, walking into one too many summons. He's going to drop very low, but Purification will keep him alive. Hana also going to drop very low. However, no chasing power from Arcanys. They're going to be forced back. Miracle on the front lines has got to be very careful. Sonic Wave used, and, well, First Departure this time don't really lose anyone, so I guess that's nice for them, but Arcanys also didn't fully commit. That's just a stray arrow landing, and if they capitalize that hard just on one arrow, then First Departure, they're going to have to really change something up. Boombacks has been landing these arrows. Yeah, I do think it's going to be a sheepstick for Heinrich. That'll just help him jump in and kill off the... Never mind, it's going to be a BKB.
What was that Sonic Wave though? I mean, did it even hit anybody? Because it felt like she Sonic Waved before blinking in as Scream of Paining. Might have been a misclick, I'm not too sure, but I think it kind of hit nobody. Maybe just on the edge it landed, but I don't know.
Got some Eidolons, man. Gotta farm.
I guess that's true enough, but they're gonna go in for the tier 2. Shapeshift activates. Might Savior gonna get stunned up, but the repel is there. But there's the black hole as well. They need to stop it, and they need to do it now. There's the Orchid to come for it. And Lobby now, he's gonna be taken out, or is it just the tower instead? So focusing on the objectives. Right Butterfly still alive thanks to the Guardian Angel. Hana, he's gonna come in as well. Finally, Ricky finds something. Mighty Savior gonna go down next probably. Another smoke screen is there. Hana goes in with the Blink Strike, gets the kill onto the Lycan. It's a 2-for-0. Timbersaw does go down, loses some Blast Zone charges as Heinrich. He is frostbitten up. Another repel though, and just TP's out to safety. Aluka gonna go down to Boomback. So in the end, it's a 2-for-2. In the back lines, silence onto Lobby, they get the kill. So a 3-for-2 plus a tier 2. Arcanys still coming out ahead.
Yeah, they kind of just YOLO dived that entire thing, Arcanys, but hey, they came out ahead, even with the Guardian Angel, even with the crappy black hole from First Departure. I'm actually really surprised that First Departure took that fight so well, but they do have these big team fight ultimates. Now they're going to go for box, smoke screen, you can't leave, unless you try to TP out, but then you still can't leave because this Riki has maxed out backstab. Omnight's going to be an additional casualty with First Departure. They don't take the cleanest defense, but I think you could say that that's a very slight win for them, unless they lose Polosan over towards mid, and that's a real possibility right now. Magic Missile and the Orchid not going to kill him off. Actually, it will. Swap back into the Queen of Pain, and Brewmaster is going to be another casualty. The fight just never seems to end, and over towards top, Boomback's going to get himself out from Hana, but for First Departure, things could have gone a lot worse than that defense, so I think they're going to be pretty happy that they took it as well as they did. That being said, it still wasn't quite good enough. Heinrich up towards top is going to hit with the Frostbite, and the Sonic Wave is going to turn around, instantly kill off the Queen of Pain. Hana also going to take down Heinrich of the BKB, showing off the Queen of Pain's power, and also showing off how fragile Crystal Maiden is.
Yeah, and I mean, I thought she might go for the spells a little bit earlier just to make good use of the soul burn value of the Orchid as well, but in the end didn't even really need it. Just because she's carrying a gem now as well, so Riki, no escape for him at all. Another 2k gold on the Queen of Pain, so next item might be the Sheepstick. Miracle, he's gonna have his Boots of Travels if that's the item he wants to go for. Might want to invest into a Blink, for example, as well on the Timber Saw. But just losing the Blast on charges early on already hurts him quite a lot. I mean, just the item loses a lot of value if you don't start just ramping up the charges.
At least he hasn't been actively losing the charges. He's keeping more or less even, I suppose, but I don't know. At this point, you really need a lot more charges if you're going to be comfortable in this game, as they're going to lose their bottom lane tier 2 in a hurry. TP coming in from Miracle. He's going to actually pick up that Blink Dagger and show it off immediately, so no surprises here. Arcanys, they are looking to go in. Moonlight Shadow, though, going to time out. Fried Butterfly is looking for a swap, and it is a level 2 swap. If she swaps in a Luca, I think that will actually hurt the Venge more than it's going to help, but either way, tier 2 tower down and up towards top, another tier 2 tower down. Boomback's so close to death, but will leap right into a hidey hole in the trees and will be able to survive. This is pretty bad First Departure. Now they're completely without map control, and Arcanys, they have heroes that can abuse this because they're going to go for Roshan immediately, and there's nothing that First Departure can really do about this.
And well, with this, it just shows how far Arcanys are ahead. Because First Departure, you would think that they can fight excellently into the Roche Pit. Smoke Screen, just Timber Saw, Chakram into there. Even Blink Thunderclap into Primal Split, Black Hole. It's just excellent Roche fight, or like fights in closed just areas. But first of all, they don't know about it just because Arcanys, they've been running around with a gem, taking all the map control. Arcanys themselves have really nice aggressive vision as well, so they're doing pretty much everything correct at this point.
And the real hard part is going to be, how do we break high ground? I think the answer to that is we do nothing and we just chill, because Miracle is dropping very low, only to the Queen of Pain. He will be able to regenerate himself back up to near full, and Heinrich, also awkwardly stuck on the high ground, will actually jump forward aggressively, going for a Luca. Sonic Wave will kill off this Crystal Maiden. Level 9 versus level 18 just doesn't seem fair, especially with everyone coming in to help. Luca's going to get a solo Sonic Wave reserve herd. Nice black hole onto 3, but Polosan's teleporting out, so he can't even help out. Lovey is suddenly left all alone. And, I mean, I don't think they could have taken that, but, man, you don't just leave your wingman. That's just not how it works.
That was stitching at its finest, it really was. So I guess that relationship is over. Just...
Yeah.
Oh god. They just can't get anything done. How many primal splits have we even had? Is it like 2 or something?
I think there's been like 1 that's been relevant, and Miracle's also going to get swapped back in and killed in an instant. So there is that to consider. Blink in from Polosan. There's another primal split, but Mighty Savior is already repelled. Hana's going to lay a really nice smoke screen down, but Heinrich and the BKB is just going to turn around and lay into the Riki. They'll bring him down in an instant. The Brewlings have just got to run, and Luca also going to get chased down by Boombacks with the Maelstrom. There's no way that Luca is going to be able to survive from this. In the meantime, the Raxes are also down. Everyone and their mom is up in the air in the mid lane, but it's going to be the mid lane to fall, and this is probably not going to be the end of it unless First Departure tap out. It's going to be game 1 going to Arcanys.
And what a convincing game it was as well. I mean, look at the net worth. Mirana, the support, has more net worth than anybody on the side of First Departure. That was a show of dominance I didn't really expect. I mean, I definitely knew Arcanys can win this, but I wouldn't think it would be in such a fashion.
Oh man, they just crushed First Departure. Like, it didn't seem like First Departure had any chance, and maybe next time they're not going to pick up the Crystal Maiden, as she didn't really hold her weight, but it wasn't just her. It was just the dominance of Arcanys. They were just overrunning first departure at every single turn. So a very impressive showing from Arcanys. Let's see if they can do it again.
Yeah, it's definitely true. So maybe just don't go for such a greedy draft. Don't go for an Enigma that early on for first departure. But we'll see. Something has to be changed for sure. But guys, this is a best of 3. And we are going to head into game number 2 slowly. But until then, hope you guys enjoyed the game as well as the casting if you did. You can follow HeflaTV for more content on our social media. Facebook and Twitter.com/HeflaTV for both. It is, or the links are rather, also below the stream. For the casters, at Coucher for me, at Mike Loris for my co-caster. And see you for game 2.